this video, we will be solving a quadratic equation by factorization method. The equation that we will be taking a look at is 9x square minus 42x plus 49 is equal to 0. Let us first understand the meaning of solving over here. It means determining the value of x. Now, what is x? X is a variable. That is, x can have any value, be it 5, minus 1000, 2 by 7, 4.1, literally any numerical value. We can use x as an alternate to represent a value that we do not know. In contrast, there are some values in equations which remain constant and do not change ever. For example, consider a number 25. Now this 25 is a number that will remain to be 25 forever. It cannot be written as 2 or 5 or 52 or any other random number that comes to your mind. It is 25, a constant value, and it will remain so. Now let us look at the equation over here and identify the variables and the constant terms. Here, x is the variable and it has the power 2, which means x is multiplied twice, that is x into x. Further, x square is multiplied to 9 to obtain 9x square. Next, we see the term minus 42x. This term contains both a variable and a constant. Like the first term, minus 42 is a constant value which is multiplied with x, which is a variable. In the next term, we have 49, which obviously is a constant value. Now, let us go a step higher. Here, you can see in the equation the highest power of the variable is 2. By highest power, I mean the greatest power that a variable has in an equation. Here, the variable is x, and in the first term, that is 9x square, the power is 2. And in the second term, the power of x is 1. The term is minus 42x, and we can see the power of x in the second term is 1. And there is no other term containing the variable x. So we can conclude that the highest power of x in this equation is 2, and such equations having the highest power as 2 are termed as quadratic equations. So now we know that the equation in hand is a quadratic equation. Now here is an important information that you will need to retain. The standard form of quadratic equation is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a, b and c are constants and x, of course, is a variable. Now let us compare the standard form of quadratic equation with the example from before. On comparing the first terms, we see the coefficient of x square, that is a from the standard form, has the value 9 in this particular example. Similarly, b is the coefficient of x, which is equal to minus 42, and c is the constant term having the value 49. Now that we know our a, b and c's, let us move on to solving this equation. The first step is to multiply ax square and c. Clearly, we will get 9x square multiplied to 49, which is equal to 441x square. Now we need to do some extra work. We need to figure out what are the combinations of variables and numbers that when multiplied give us 441x square. The two factors resulting in the product of 441x square must each contain a variable and a constant compulsorily. To understand, let us take 441x square and find its factors. Some of its factors are 441x and 1x, 9x and 49x, 21x and 21x, minus 441x and minus 1x, minus 9x and minus 49x, minus 21x and minus 21x. All these combinations when multiplied give us 441x square as the result. Do remember that the sign is very significant. In 441x square, the sign is positive. So the factors should be such that when multiplied, they give us plus 441x square only. Now, these factors will be used in the later steps. Coming to step number 2. Observe and note bx carefully along with its sign. Here, bx is equal to minus 42x, and that's it for step 2. We will now move on to step 3, which is by far the most important step. Step 3 is to figure out what factors of 441x square when added result to minus 42x. We need to see what factors of 441x square when they are added. They must give us minus 42x. So, consider the first pair of factors of 441x square, 441x and 1x. When we add them together, we do not obtain minus 42x, right? So, let us consider another pair of factors of 441x square, 9x and 49x. Of course, on adding them, we get 58x, which does not equal to minus 42x, which is the bx value of our equation. Let us consider the next pair, 21x and 21x. When we add them, we get 42x, which is not minus 42x, right? So now let us consider another pair of factors of 441x square, minus 21x and minus 21x. On adding these two terms, we get minus 21x plus minus 21x, which is equal to minus 42x. Therefore, we have found the factors of 441x square, which when added result to minus 42x. Okay, and these factors are minus 21x and minus 21x. Now, let us move on to the final step, factorizing. The equation is 9x square minus 42x plus 49 is equal to 0. So, firstly, in place of minus 42x, let us write minus 21x minus 21x, which is also a combination of factors that when added give us minus 42x and when multiplied give us 441x square. So when we do this, we get x square minus 21x plus 49 is equal to 0. Now we will take 3x as common from the first two terms and 7 as common from the last two terms. So we would get 3x into 3x minus 7 inside the bracket minus 7 into 3x minus 7 inside the bracket is equal to 0. 3x multiplied by 3x minus 7 multiplied by 3x minus 7. That is what we did is equal to 0. Now taking 3x minus 7 as common from the terms shown, the equation will look like this. 3x minus 7 into 3x minus 7 is equal to 0. Now, when 3x minus 7 is taken to the right hand side, it becomes the denominator to 0, and 0 divided by any number, 0 divided by 3x minus 7 will result and give us 0. So, we will be left with 3x minus 7 is equal to 0, and when this minus 7 is taken to the right hand side, we will get plus 7. That is, we will get 3x is equal to plus 7. On dividing both the sides by 3, we will obtain x is equal to 7 by 3. Similarly, when the other 3x minus 7 is transposed to the right hand side of this equation, we will obtain again x is equal to 7 by 3. So we get two roots or solutions for this quadratic equation, that are x is equal to 7 by 3 and again x is equal to 7 by 3. So the two roots are the same. When I say that these are my roots, I mean to say that when I would put x is equal to 7 by 3 in the left hand side of this equation, I must get the result after simplification as 0. So that is it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.